Rick in Bellingham, Washington, listening on AM 930. Hey, Rick, what's up?
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate your program and all your staff does for our country. It's the best source of information that I can find on the radio. I could write 5 letters a day on issues that need addressing in this country, and it seems like it's a fruitless endeavor. I would like to add to your comments to the Democratic Party and needed change. The Koch brothers took over the Republican Party via the Tea Party, and not only Congress and the Senate, but state houses all across the nation. Where's the Democratic Party? They're a no-show, so I think redirecting the Democratic Party from within would take too long a time, and there'd be a lot of resistance. I suggest using the Koch model, set up an organization based on Bernie's model using existing email, self-fund, organize, mobilize, be poll, and replace the neoliberal Democrats with progressives. I just think the media, the Republican and the Democratic Party, and the healthcare cartels and the financial cartels have turned their back on America. And if we want change, it's upon us to do it. We need to all stop whining and complaining and get to work. So is there an progressive movement out there, an organization that people like me can put their efforts and their money into to organize and start taking back the country?
Sure. Okay. Number one, your analogy of the Koch brothers creating the tobacco industry created the original Tea Party, but the Koch brothers kind of revitalized it and then used that as the instrument to get into and take over the Republican Party, is spot on. And the Republican Party and the Democratic Party they're huge, they're historic, they're billion-dollar operations. They have people all over the country, and they're wide open to take over. It's not like, NBC or ExxonMobil or something, where you've got to come up with $500 billion in order to have an impact. I mean, look at the impact that Bernie Sanders had. He didn't take a penny from the Democratic Party.
Show up. All you need to do.
Yeah, you got to show up, but not just show up. I would say show up and try to be part of, try to get inside the system in order to fix it. I agree with you. The system has been badly corrupted. I think the Republican Party was badly corrupted by Nixon and even worse by Reagan. And I think the Democratic Party was badly corrupted by Al Fromm and the whole DLC crowd back in the late 80s, early 90s. That said, the Democratic Party is nowhere near as corrupt as the Republican Party, and it still has tremendous potential. The Republican Party has become basically the wholly owned subsidiary of the oil industry, where we refuse to acknowledge climate change, of the gun industry, where you refuse to allow even a vote on, common sense stuff that 95% of Americans want, 92% of Americans want, and shills for the billionaires. And in fact, they're nominating a billionaire as their leader. So but see, the advantage that the Koch brothers and their buddies have on the Republican side is that when they put $1 billion or $2 billion or $10 billion over a period of decades, when they put that kind of money into the Republican Party, it's an investment. They get that money back in lower taxes. They get that money back in deregulation, so they can poison communities, but dump the externalities on communities and make more profits. On the Republican side, yes, there's a few wealthy Republican billionaires out there. And some of them are really good people with really great backgrounds, and some of them are a little sketchy, but whatever. I mean, there's some good wealthy Democrats, but the fact of the matter is that they're few and far between compared to the Republican billionaires, number one, and number two. When a Democratic billionaire puts, millions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars into the Democratic Party, they're guaranteeing that their own taxes are going to go up. I mean, they have to be genuinely altruistic. They actually have to care about our society and the future of our civilization and our world. And tragically, when people's income starts approaching 7 zeros or 8 zeros or 9 zeros, their concern for their fellow man seems to start to fall apart, at least those who identify themselves as Republicans and conservatives. Rick, thank you for the call. I'm with you. I think that, the more progressives, the more of us who show up inside the Democratic Party and say, okay, I'm here. I'm ready to work. And I'm a progressive. And I'm proud of it. And we're going to remake this party in our image. I think it's possible.
You're listening to Thom Hartmann. Visit thomhartmann.com for audio and video archives.
Not just possible. I think it's like the last greatest hope for this country. We'll be back.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.